The Celtics Talk podcast is presented by 24autogroup.com, 11 locations across New England.
What's up, everybody?
What's up?
Celtics Talk podcast. I am in a great mood. This was a historic
Yeah, because
night.
you sat courtside and we're drinking free beer all night.
Whoa. There's some things that stay behind the scenes, Abigail.
Excuse me, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Abby Chin alongside. After Abby got to be there for water baths, because Derrick.
I did get my. That was one of my first.
Oh, now
Water
who's glowing?
showers.
All right, so Derrick White, Payton Pritchard both go for 40-plus points for the first time in Celtics history. I did not know when I wandered into this building tonight. I'm not supposed to be here. I just showed up. But I'm depressed because there's no Robert Williams, so I'm sad. And then we get this game, a historic game. A Celtic City Volume 10 is going to be all about the Derrick White, Payton Pritchard night.
The amount of history that the Celtics have experienced, the fact that these two teams, guys, have done that. Not to mention, this is just days after Jason and Jalen combined for 83 points.
In a loss.
And 9+ threes by teammates the first time in NBA history.
Wow.
Yes, it was incredible.
So tell me, give me.
I also loved Al Horford's answer when I asked him what it was like to be on the floor, and he just said joy. Pure
Wait, just like
joy.
one word? Joy?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Just to see that kind of performance and how much fun they were having. It was awesome.
It was just absurd. And, look, I was a little bit worried. The Blazers had been playing great. It felt like a night where they were going to come in with a bunch of energy. Celtics, we know how it is when they're playing sort of what we would consider an inferior opponent, that sometimes they struggle to bring it. Wednesday night, you're looking ahead to the Lakers. There's all these sorts of things.
Down 3 starters.
Right, but I actually think that helped. Clearly. It opened the pathway for guys who typically bring the energy to thrive. But lead me through. Okay, so they go for their 40-plus each. You get Payton after the game.
Mm-hmm.
What
Facing his hometown team, close to Chauncey Billups. I talked to him at halftime because we usually try to not double up there. Yeah. But
Derrick.
He was incredible in the first half. Al said, Payton kept them alive. He was the energy in that first half for the Celtics. But he talked about just that it is pretty special playing against your hometown team, and it does bring just a little bit something more out of you. And
did you get hit with the water when they?
Only a little bit.
Who got
It was a bunch of people.
Really?
5 or 6 guys. And I can't remember who it was, but someone was warned me, made eye contact. So I got out of the
Shout
way.
out to that person.
I only got a little bit of water on my
Wasn't
pants.
me.
No, it wasn't you helping me in any way tonight, Forsberg,
not
for
at
the
all.
record. Just put that out there.
I appreciate it.
What do you think watching it courtside?
I'm sensing a little anger. I have never, in the history of me covering this team for 15 years or something right now, have never watched from the seats. Never.
Never.
I've been in the box once.
Even when you were a kid, you didn't come?
No, I'm saying in the 15 years I've covered the team.
Oh, okay.
I was actually at my event tonight. I talked about this. So I was when my friends had season tickets in 2007-08. I watched a bunch of games from 305 right up there. Probably 35 home games. I came to a lot, and that actually reinvigorated me, gave me a love of basketball. And who knows if I'd even be here if that didn't happen. But
you never saw something like this.
Never saw anything like this. And I don't know, maybe it added to it because when you're amidst the fans, you're always close to the action. I'm always up there in section 19 and nowhere. Sometimes they put me on the roof and I'm I'm not going up there. It was amazing because you could tell they weren't even hitting the rim.
No.
And you could tell that something special was happening.
It was from all over the floor, spraying it, logo shots. Contested, off the bounce, off the dribble. They were unstoppable. It
was truly amazing. I don't know how to put it into proper context. I really do believe it's one of those games that 30 years from now, 20 years from now, maybe the Jays have a 40-40 night and it's just whatever, it blends in, but I don't know. They've had a lot of opportunities to this point. They haven't done it, and it's just remarkable to watch. We can say we were here for the Payton Derrick game. We have to come up with some cool name for it.
Interesting.
I was
job.
gonna do numbers, but you can't do that. I'm gonna have to workshop it. The PPDW, DWPP, I don't know. I'm gonna workshop it. It's gonna take some time.
All right. Yep. You let me know. Keep me posted.
I will.
But isn't it Isn't it? Doesn't it show you the sacrifice that both Payton and Derrick are making on a night-to-night basis? But not only them. I mean, the Jays, everyone, Kristaps Porzingis, everyone on this team is capable of going off for a 40-piece.
We are watching the Celtic City documentary premieres the other night, and it's all about the sacrifice and Russell coming in and saying, like, he wants to block shots and rebound and do everything, and then Satch Sanders says the same thing. It's easy to say, it's another to do it, and especially in this modern era where contracts are tied to how good you are.
Is so
it's just
big.
It's all about opportunity, and it's one thing to do it when you have a chance every night where you're the focal point, and that's what makes me marvel. Payton has been fantastic this year, but this was a night where you needed those guys to be great against a feisty young team.
Who'd been playing spectacular defense since the turn of
Some
the new
sexy
year.
defense, and yet they could not do anything to turn off Derrick White or Payton Pritchard, who just made three after three after three.
Al also made it a point to shout out Jaylen Brown, who,
He was great.
by all appearances, may have looked like he had a rough game, but he was
No.
the guy facilitating, setting up all of those incredible shots.
Bad shooting night, but it didn't matter because he realized that at some point along the way. And, you know, I thought he was really impactful mid-fourth quarter, just getting a couple buckets, making sure. Because Portland made a sneaky run there.
Yeah, they did.
Where it got a little too uncomfortable.
Joe Mazzulla had to call timeout. And you know how much he hates to do that.
You don't want to ruin how good Payton and Derrick had been and just get to the finish line of that win. So, ultimate respect for what these guys did. Historic.
Historic.
It's so hard to have historic nights.
That was one of the questions that was in the locker room, was when you consider this Celtics franchise.
Ridiculous.
The documentary, they needed 9 episodes to go through the history of this franchise.
We need a 10th episode.
And
Payton
we saw
and Derrick.
something new here on this parquet tonight.
The only thing I was left wanting is when Payton had 10 threes.
I know.
And we're thinking, oh, he's definitely going to get some shots up. But how selfless that
Yes.
every opportunity he had. He drove, made the right play, got others involved, got his double-double. And he was I don't even think he was worried about the points. He just wanted to make the right play. But on a night where he could have just chucked threes and said, I'm going to break Marcus Smart's 11 record.
Payton said he didn't know. He didn't know that the record was 11.
I do love, too, he said something like, it gives me something to shoot for down the road. I'm going to get it eventually. Which, like, irrational confidence.
I was going to say,
Unreal.
that's the Joe Mazzulla motto, is that there is always something more to work
How
for.
was
And this
Joe?
does put another little carrot.
How was Joe after
He
the
was
game?
great.
Okay, he was happy.
He was great.
Okay.
Yes, happy for Payton too. I think, especially that's a guy who he's worked with since he got here and has seen Payton through some pretty tough times.
And how cool, as you mentioned multiple times, that Payton does against his hometown team. There's more eyeballs back home on this game. It's clearly, I'm not saying when you're drawing up the lineup, you know some of your guys need rest, and it's amazing that they even got Tatum to take a day off. But like Payton has to know, okay, I'm going to get extra time against this team. All people are watching back home, and just to dominate the way he did. Amazing.
Amazing. Congrats, Payton. That's awesome. All the work that he puts in, and that's what all of his teammates said tonight. You know how much work he puts into this and how much he cares, and he does bring it to the Celtics standard every single night, whether shots are falling or not, and to see him have this kind of performance.
My next question, how does Derrick White get his shorts to stay up with all the threes in the pocket?
You'd think they would weigh him
They would
down.
like
you know?
sagging.
I
or
agree. He's got to have some huge pockets.
Huge pockets.
Huge.
Derrick is awesome. And he was on the injury report before the game, right?
He was.
Well,
I don't forget
everyone was on the injury report before. Yeah.
I asked Joe Mazzulla, can we go through it? And he said no. No, we cannot. So we waited for updates.
I respect that. That's very.
And Derrick did not look hobbled in any way.
I don't know what his ailment was.
Payton was on the injury report too.
Really?
Yes.
I think they were just messing with us. They knew people were taking nights off, and they put everybody on the injury report. But
that is something to talk about at the end of the pod.
You nailed it. But first, here's more from our postgame show.
The award-winning 24 Auto Group is the easy choice for your next car, truck, or SUV. 11 locations and over 2,000 new and pre-owned vehicles in stock.
Shop the brands you know and love, backed by savings and service you can count on. Plus, buy 3 and get 1 free for all tire purchases, with 11 convenient locations across the South Shore of Massachusetts.
24 has the knack to save you more. Visit us in store or online at 24autogroup.com.
In their history, in the entire history of this franchise, the Celtics have never had two guys go for 40-plus in the same game. You saw it tonight from Derrick White and Payton Pritchard.
And who would think it would be those two guys to do it, right? You would think that would be Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, the guys that would have the 40 points. But this is a great opportunity for guys to step up, to when you get your opportunity, go out there and take advantage of it. Everybody has been talking lately about, the bench has been not as productive as it has been. Payton Pritchard looked like he took that personal. I feel like Derrick White took it personal. Hey, it doesn't matter who's out there. And I think that's a great representation of how deep this basketball team is, that at any given night, somebody could give you 40. And I don't care that we're playing against this is the one right here. I don't care if it was the Blazers or whoever it was. The fact that they were able to go out there and do that and represent themselves and represent the team, it was big time.
All right, and we also have Abby Chin joining the program, and she's standing by with Payton Pritchard right now, so let's send it out to Abby.
Payton, congratulations. You just heard MVP chants when you were standing at the free throw line. Career high 9 threes and 43 points. Was there a moment where you knew this was going to be a special night?
No, not really. Just trying to play the right way all game long. D. White had stretches where he was unbelievable. He ended up with 41. So, it's just finding times in the game to.
Derrick as well. You guys, the first time in NBA history, teammates have hit 9 threes. First time in Celtics history, 2 players with 41-plus points. How much did you guys put on your shoulders being down 3 starters?
I don't think we added any pressure to ourselves. We just came out trying to play the right way. We're a capable team with a lot of talent. We can run through Sam. Al, the other night, came out, had 20, won the game for us in Denver, D. White too. So our team is full of a bunch of talent. So each night we just find a different guy to win, and that's why we're a really special team. So
this Portland Trailblazers team would not go away. I know you're close with Chauncey. Is it any more sweeter beating your hometown team?
Definitely. Like I said at halftime, it's always special playing the Blazers. I remember telling my parents before, when we were going to Blazer games that one day I'd be at this level playing. What up, boy?
The best number 11 ever.
Appreciate it. So, yeah, it's definitely special to play your hometown team. So.
What'd you tell your parents?
When we walk into the arena when I was a little kid, I said one day you're going to be coming into these arenas to watch me.
And now you continue to beat them. Congratulations.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, you got Gator in back. You got Evan Turner crashing the party. Is former Celtic, former Blazer right there.
You know what I like what he said? One day we're going to be walking in this arena and people are going to be watching me. And that's the belief you have to have. You have to have that belief to make it. I had the same type of mentality, right? Every single night I went out there, I thought I was the best player on the floor, and I know I wasn't, at the end of the day when I reflect back. But inside of that moment, that's why Payton Pritchard is so good. At the end of the day, he believes he's the best player on the floor every single night, and you need to guard him in that particular way. And if he gets going, it's hard to cut his water off, man. He's a competitor. One of my favorite players. I seen him in college, watched him when he was at Oregon, covered him when he was at Oregon when I was working with the Pac-12. So I've seen this guy develop, I've seen him grow, and I've seen him become the pro that he is right now.
He had 43 points on 20 field goals. Ooh. How efficient is that? Not to mention he pulled down 10 rebounds, had the 5 assists. Doing a little bit of everything.
He had his belt out tonight.
He did. but the Blazers wouldn't go away. And Payton Pritchard tried to make sure he knocked down a couple free throws at the end.
Sometimes when you get that whooping, you still go back and do the same thing, and you don't go away. But he had that belt out tonight.
All right, so Payton Pritchard with 43 points. Again, a career high 10 of 16 from 3.
10 rebounds.
10 rebounds. 10 rebounds as well. And again, you had Derrick White right there with 41 with a career high. It's just
crazy.
It is crazy. And getting to call all the fun as well. You got Scal and Mike Tirico. And Mike, you got a good one tonight between Payton Pritchard and Derrick White and the Celtics win.
A good one. Tom, you talk about a historic night for this. This is the franchise that is history in this sport. And to be in the building for a historic night, what I love being courtside here at the Mike Gorman broadcast table and watching this with you, Scal. something you don't get to see on TV, and that's Pritchard's demeanor and his face. And it speaks a little bit to what you said towards the end of the broadcast of he's a guy who walks in the building and thinks he's better than everybody else, and he plays with that attitude every night.
No question about it. And he knows going into this game, okay, Jason Tatum's going to be out. That's a lot of opportunity to play. He's still coming off the bench. What he's still trying to do is win Sixth Man of the Year. You know, just another notch for one day for him to make an all-star team. That's how he thinks. And he comes out here and he has the ability to do it. I will say, the fact that we were playing Portland, maybe it's a couple days off. He had an extra bounce in his step. You could tell right from the start. And I didn't know he was going to go for a career high, but you could tell right away that he was going to have a big night.
And Derrick White has his big game as well. And it just speaks to the length of the season, something Joe Mazzulla mentioned pregame. You don't know which guy it's going to be, but because there have been a number of players out with injury or other things this year, you need to lean on everybody. And then when you get to playoff time, you look down the bench, you got 6-7 guys who can carry you for a stretch. And sometimes that's the difference in winning a game and winning a series.
You know, Mike, I feel like this year, one of our weaknesses has been when we're full strength. It's almost as if they think because we're full strength, we're going to win automatically.
Interesting.
As opposed to being shorthanded, you saw a motivated Payton Pritchard, a motivated Derrick White, even Jaylen Brown, getting other people involved. You know, like they have like an extra motivation to them. And that's what I saw tonight with guys sitting out. It's weird. Now, most teams, when they have guys out, they struggle. With us, I feel like we get stronger today. You got all kinds of guys you can lean on. And I was blown away that in the history of the Celtics, no teammates have ever scored more than 40 in a game. That is mind-boggling to me.
We start to think about it. 2 40s together is 80. Like, how many nights were these guys scoring 120, 125? The more prolific scoring in the league lends to that, and all the threes that you're allowed to take, right? Kind of changes the calculus. I'm looking big picture, just coming in and watching the Celtics. Look, this team will not get home court. Cleveland will too far ahead, right? But they can go win in Cleveland. These guys, most of the guys on that bench, help put Banner 18 up. So they are, I think, in these 20 games, just fine-tuning for that 6, 7, 8-week run. You see all the pieces. And while you lose to Cleveland, blow the big lead, you go, oh, my gosh, is this going to be a problem? I think this team has everything it takes to put number 19 up.
Yeah, I feel like as long as they don't, like, kind of lose their way or get bored with the process and understand, I think the run last year, a lot of people have said it was easy. I think they were fortunate in that run. I think it's going to be a little bit tougher this year. I feel like the East is a little bit better.
Right.
But they still are the best team with the most talent. We have 3 guys out, and it doesn't matter. Other guys can come off the bench, have big nights. So, yeah, when you get a chance to see them live, you recognize how dangerous and offensive gifted these guys are. But ultimately, it really will come down to the defensive end. If they guard and the momentum and the crowd, this team will hang banner number 19.
Payton, this is a Trailblazers defense that in the last 22 games has given up the fewest threes per game in the league. What allowed you to have a career night against a defense that prides itself on taking away the three?
Well, I mean, their big was in a drop some of the nights, so it allowed us to get downhill and have those threes right off the screens. But, I mean, we have a lot of good players that can, like, get into the paint and kick out, so helps us to space the floor and find your open shots.
Payton, was there a point tonight where you just kind of realized it was going to be like an explosive night? Was it the one in the corner over Scoot, or was it something else?
Not necessarily. I mean, really, I just like when I'm processing the game, it's just about taking the right shots, making the right reads. So I feel like if I do that, and you know, obviously if you get enough attempts, it should be a good night regardless. I mean, obviously you're gonna have your down nights, but for the most part, just pride myself on making the right read every time.
Payton, when you're coming off of some of these screens, you know, Al or Luke setting, like, how much are you focusing on the angle of screen? Like, how much do they focus on that? Like, how much of that small part of the game?
I mean, I just make sure that my guy runs into the screen. They're unbelievable screen setters. Like, they get you wide open. But the job as a guard is just to set your guy up, run him into it, and then, you know, make the right read after that.
Did they not get you with the water? They posted the video of Derrick. Did they not get you in the locker room?
They got me on the court when I was doing the interview, so I already got a bunch of water thrown on me. It was cold, but we want to make sure that we got D. White too, because he had a career night as well.
I was just going to ask you that. What was it like to kind of, you know, sometimes you'll see one of these nights, but to kind of go through with him, you guys set a bunch of records, like most points by a duo, first time 2 guys hitting 9 threes.
Unbelievable. It was was amazing to watch because some of the shots he was hitting were incredible too, and he wasn't hitting no rim, just straight water. So definitely fun to be out there with him and do it on a special night like this.
Payton, is any significance against a team that was kind of near your hometown?
It's always fun playing the Blazers. Grew up going to games, watching the Blazers, so it's special to play your hometown team and to go out and get a W and play well.
And what is it about? Is there anything different mentally in terms of I mean, you've always been a confident kid, but just this year, it just seems like whenever you release it, you know it's going in. What has brought that kind of supreme confidence?
I think the work over time has built up to, like you said, supreme confidence, and then having my teammates and the coaches to have the confidence in me now to allow me to have nights like this. So it's a little bit of both, but I'd always go back to the work. You know, over time it just builds and builds and builds, and finally you're seeing nights like this.
You guys, it's not often when Jason takes a night off. He was out. Kristaps and Drew were also out. Do you know going into this game, I'm going to need to do a little more? How do you change your mindset when you guys are that shorthanded?
Not necessarily. I mean, maybe I know I'm going to play a little bit more, but I go into the game, like I said, just trying to make the right reads because tonight could have been Sam Hauser's night. He hits 10 to 15 threes. Like, D. White does what he does. JB could have 50. So I don't go into any night thinking, oh, it's my night. It's just you read the game and, you know, the ball ended up finding me. Next game, the ball might not find me at all, but, how am I going to impact the game? So, you know, that could be with rebounding and assists. You know, obviously if I get shots, I got to be ready to hit them. But every night's a different look, so you just got to be prepared for it.
You know, you entered the fourth quarter with 10 threes. You were one short of Smart's record for the franchise record. You took 1 3 in the fourth quarter. You kept passing up a lot of looks you could have forced to drive and kick and stuff like that. Why do you not gun for, those records to get the 50-burger, stuff like that?
I didn't even know I had 10 threes at the moment. But I wouldn't have gunned for it anyways because then it just sets a new standard. So I got something to eventually go for it, and hopefully I'll break one day. But the biggest thing was just about getting the W, and they made a little push, so I wasn't going to force a look that wasn't there. I feel like that's disrespectful to the game, disrespectful to my teammates. But if I got it in the flow and took a shot that was a good shot for us and broke it that way, then that's the right way to break it.
Just for most people have not experienced that feeling of just, making that kind of history in front of this crowd. What does it feel like just from an emotion standpoint, especially like the MVP chants, the free throw line? I thought this was one of the better crowds of the year, but just from an emotional standpoint, what was kind of going through your mind?
Definitely special. Just having the crowd behind you. I know I have a lot of love out here, which I definitely appreciate. So to have a night like this and to see the crowd get behind me, it makes me keep going and keep working hard to keep. You never know what the future can hold, so trying to keep striving for greatness.
When did you know it was going to be a big night?
I don't know. I think at the beginning of the game, I had a couple in and outs that felt good, so just try to continue to get good looks. And I think in that second quarter, when I hit 3 in a row, you got it going, and credit to my teammates. They kept finding me and in good positions, and I was able to stay hot.
Yeah, what did the rim look like after that?
It looked good. I don't know. Me and Pete were talking about it. It was kind of crazy. We weren't even just hitting the rim, just swishes, and I don't know. You get hot, and I feel like I was getting a lot of really good looks, and so credit to the offense that we were running and the guys to find me.
Does that tell you what both of you are capable of and just how much sacrifice needs to be made on this team to kind of balance things out for the greater good?
Yeah. That tonight was fun, but we know what the bigger picture is, and we know what we are working for and what we're working towards, and so it's not about me. It never will be about me, and so whatever the team needs, whatever it is that night, I got to do it and just help us win games.
Derrick, how does it feel to have the best scoring and maybe the best shooting night of your life and still have a teammate have better numbers than you?
It feels great. I'm super happy for Payton. he probably could have took more shots. I mean, I took 6 more than him. So, I mean, he was unbelievable. Someone that works so hard and just plays the right way every time out there. And so, I mean, it's great to have that night tonight along with him, and just kind of both of us just try to play the right way and do what it takes to win.
And what does it say about a team where a couple games ago, Jalen and Jason go for 80+, and then now you and Payton go for 80+? They have 4 different people like involved in combining for 80. Like that's you never see 80+ games combined anyway. To have 2 different sets of teammates do it is a little unique.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, Derrick, considering how deep the tradition and history is of this franchise, and knowing that, what does it mean to do something that's never been done in this franchise's history?
It's unbelievable. I mean, just the talent that we have in the history of this franchise. I mean, I'm watching the documentary. Can't wait for the next episode. And so just kind of hearing more about their history and just the players that have been through this organization. I actually thought JB and JT did it a couple games ago. I guess JB didn't have 40. But like just to be a part of that is unbelievable, and I'm truly thankful for that and grateful.
Derrick, you mentioned, just throughout the game, seeing the shots go in, feeling more and more comfortable out there. Was there any point, like during a timeout or anything, where some of the guys on the bench came over to you and or Payton and were just like you're making everything tonight? Like, was there any point throughout the game where somebody on the bench like came over and was like laughing at how incredible like this night was?
No. Maybe like when the end of the third quarter there, when Payton was really going crazy. I was laughing at it. Then I think we just kind of kept just staying in the moment, and everybody was just doing a great job of like finding us and creating for us. And like I felt like JB found me so many times to give me good open looks and the right play. And so him and Al just setting great screens. Like it was just a whole team effort, and they kind of all just combined to help us do what we did.
All right, Abby.
Yes.
We're back at it tomorrow night.
We are.
I'm not here, so it will not be a historic night.
Oh.
I know.
That's a
I'm here
bummer.
Saturday.
I'm mad at you
Lakers.
tonight, but I will miss you tomorrow.
Oh, yes. We're back.
And a 7:00 start. It's only 10:30. We got time.
That's good.
You know what I saw rolling in here tonight?
What did you say?
Pallets of Derrick White ale. Derrick White's ale? What is it called?
Hold on. First off, one, you didn't text me.
Well, I couldn't steal it. I'm just saying
Were
the
you
stock
trying?
has been replenished.
So when I was sitting courtside, a lot of people.
Oh my God.
A lot of people had the cans, and I was very jealous because it's not in the room where.
I should clarify. Chris was not actually slamming beers all night. He was sitting with our boss, so
Yeah.
I hope you held it together.
I tried.
Enough.
People were very
Professional
nice.
that you are.
It was so much fun. Again, one, I wish I was not wearing this suit while it was happening because I felt very weird. But it was amazing to feel that energy. This was one of the better crowds of the year, at least while I've been here. And now I've been here for a lot of losses.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So that's a you thing.
I would no, could be. I did. So Donnie Wahlberg was here. Had to catch up with him. He said that he was supposed to be here for 5 other games, and scheduling conflicts made it so he couldn't. He was either at an NKOTB rehearsal in Las Vegas for their residency.
Right now?
I'm just telling you.
He was trying to.
He's got a Blue Bloods
I feel like you're really
spin-off.
showing off. My friend Donnie Wahlberg, when I was sitting courtside, we were talking about all the cool stuff. He had to be at the Oscars last week, and so
Normally I'm eating Chipotle and Needham, so let me have my moment.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So Donnie was saying he was supposed to be here 5 times, but for scheduling conflicts couldn't be here, and they lost every single game. But I believe he is 3 or 5-0 since when he does come, and he's here tomorrow for the Philly game, and he's here Saturday against the Lakers. But my
unless
question,
something comes up.
it could be true. My question to you, Abigail. Some people do this. Sell me this glass of water. Sell me this game against the Philadelphia 76ers.
Well, we will get a chance to see, I would imagine, Jason Tatum taking on.
Feel pretty good about that.
They're gonna, flip the back-to-backs.
Whoever played today might have a chance to take a rest day tomorrow. I don't know. Payton Pritchard would probably just play forever, but
I don't have a good feeling. I mean, Al Horford definitely sitting. I don't have a good feeling about Kristaps. I have not seen him listed as illness. I haven't seen him in the locker room. So to me, that doesn't indicate that he's close to a return.
This is not reporting. I'm not. I do feel like it's weird that he's had this long of a stretch.
Yes.
So I think some of it must be rest and maintenance, and yet clearly he did not look himself in that Detroit game.
Right.
So I think it's absolutely true he has an illness. I wonder if they're kind of pacing him along. And Drew, I don't suspect we'll see mallet finger tomorrow. Like, there's no sense to rush him. Right.
Yes.
So,
well, and the Kristaps thing is, I would say, we will find out what it was. Because he will tell us. Kristaps does not
open book
keep secrets like that. So we'll find out what it is, but he's got to come back first. But so I am curious to see another shorthanded Celtics team. However, this Sixers team, somehow worse than the ones we've already seen this season. Although I know that they
Almost
did win
impossible.
on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
But it seems impossible. But now that they've shut down Joel Embiid, Paul George.
who knows?
He's
not podcasting though. So do you think he would, if the Sixers win, would he come on our podcast?
Ooh, no.
No, of course not.
That's a hard no from Joe.
Evan
Just
Turner.
like Joe. Oh, wait, no, but I was going to say, you never know with the Celtics team. As Payton told me post-game, there's just so much talent. So tonight you had Payton and Derrick going off for 40. Who could it be tomorrow night?
Give me one player you think could have like a sneaky big game tomorrow.
Payton Pritchard. Again. Not
Right.
Sam Hauser. He was hobbled.
What's
But
up with that?
That right. Right lower leg.
Yeah.
Could be ankle, could be foot.
Poor Sam. Sam's
Poor
had a
Sam. It's
rough
been a
go.
rough season.
Like a really rough season for Sam Hauser.
Good thing he's got a kid at home. He'll be fine.
That helps.
Keeping things in perspective. But yeah, it's been tough.
Okay.
Injuries.
Jordan Walsh, and we're not going to go through all the players that played tonight, but Jordan Walsh, sneaky good in hustling and energy.
No question.
He should get some time tomorrow.
He should get some time.
He's due for a game where he just pops off for a little
Maybe
bit.
we'll get to see the new guy, Miles Norris.
Ooh.
The two-way
Torrey
former
Craig.
teammate with Payton Pritchard in Oregon. Also, Joe Mazzulla, Oregon.
Oregon?
Called it Oregon.
It's worse than crayons.
No.
Need everybody to
Crayons
go
is the
like,
proper way.
subscribe, check us out on the YouTube page. We'll be right back at this tomorrow night. You want to beam in from here and I'll be in Needham?
No.
No. Thanks for thinking about it. We'll catch you next time on the Celtics Talk Podcast.